Artificial intelligence and machine learning is having a profound impact on business in all sectors, from financial services to real estate and everything in between, including politics. AI and machine learning is helping politicians do a lot of things, not just get elected. AI can help candidates monitor opponents, automate fact checking, and even stay in touch with constituents back home and the issues that matter to them. For Tech Republic and ZDNet, my name is Dan Patterson with Veritone CEO Chad Steelberg. Chad, I wonder if you could help us understand how AI and machine learning has changed in politics over the last half decade, and how politicians and their supporters are using machine learning to perhaps do a more effective job.
Thanks, Dan. I think artificial intelligence really entered the main stage back in the 2016 presidential elections. Before that, big data and capturing content, whether from staffers recording other people's videos and competitive opposition and analysis, was very important. But at the end of the day, that information was being stored on hard drives and being lost in its ability to become effective tools to manage a campaign. In 2016, we rolled out Veritone Politics, and it really, at that point in time, shifted the knowledge game from being just big data to now actionable intelligence. And specifically, the three areas that we started to bring to market were: one, how do you correct the record in real time? And how is that information being propagated through the news media and false news? And we actually were able to stop discreetly very, very bad things that were happening in the Obama situation, as well as for the RNC. And that rapid response capability to be able to monitor media at scale, both in the public media and private, completely changed the outcome of various campaigns that we are monitoring and helping.
So data in politics goes back decades to the direct mail days that were really mastered by Karl Rove in Texas, and then later implemented in the George W. Bush campaign in 2000 and 2001. At that time, it was about converting a target market and really looking for votes. Now, in addition to media, like you mentioned, media monitoring and media mentioning, data has entered an entire new sector. And I wonder, other than media monitoring, how is machine learning helping politicians and policymakers really understand the issues that matter to voters?
Well, again, I think not just looking from an opposition research standpoint in the center of a campaign, but it's from an ongoing political standpoint, their ability to monitor what's happening in their home state while they might be on the Hill, and at the same time when they're in their home state, monitoring what's happening on the congressional floor in real time, and being able to be effectively in multiple places at once has really allowed politicians to be more efficient in their job and more responsive to issues both at home as well as in Washington. So that's one area that I think that's not campaign and winning elections, but allowing them to do their job more effectively and being more responsible to their constituents. With regards to sort of the campaign trail, if you will, what we've seen, again, is a couple different things: the ability to correct the record in real time, rapid response, as well as, again, monitoring of media. But I think AI, from an election standpoint, is also being pointed towards what's happening in the demographic shifts, where voters are moving, et cetera, and starting to identify issues that are boiling up through their constituencies that they can be more responsive to.
So in national campaigns, and it's very easy to focus on national campaigns because they do get a lot of attention, there's also a lot of money, and money helps fund things like AI and other innovations. How useful is this for down ticket or smaller, less funded races?
That's the beautiful part about what we've built. Our solution is almost the Salesforce model for artificial intelligence, right? Per user license. We have actual races that are down into thousands of dollars of budget that we're helping move the needle in terms of their ability to be aware of their competitive analysis, at the same time understand what the issues are that are driving the electoral college and the votes. And so from that standpoint, we have moved from presidential and the RNC as a customer all the way down to local gubernatorial races, Senate seats, as well as congressmen.
And what does Not just the future of short-term elections, but what does the future of big data and AI look in politics over the next several cycles? It seems, at least from the outside, as though there will be no escaping data. Everything will be scraped, analyzed, and used in a number of different ways. Some of those ways could be less helpful and spread FUD, and others like yours could really help lend clarity. So how do you anticipate AI, big data, and machine learning to be used in politics over the next several cycles?
Well, I think the elephant in the room, if you will, between us is the Russia effect. Essentially what you're seeing is you're seeing, and the Facebook effect, you're seeing foreign powers influencing state and federal elections in the United States by propagating false news and other types of information to the marketplace. You're also seeing large corporations essentially censoring certain pieces of information, which we saw at Facebook and Google. The biggest bias that we face as a society is the information and who controls it. I think that has always been the case going back to the Ayn Rand days. The ability for artificial intelligence to be able to sift through all of that information and to be able to deliver it not just in terms of the intelligence of sorting and filtering, but actually to analyze that information and to score it and rate it in terms of its truthfulness, number one, but also in terms of the sourcing. How is this information propagated through the media, whether social or broadcast, has a great deal about its authenticity, which allows me as an informed constituent, citizen, and voter to be able to weigh in terms of, do I want to value this information and have it affect me in my voting behavior?
Chad Steelberg is the CEO of Veritone. Chad, I wonder if you could leave us with some insights about what business should learn, or how business should adopt artificial intelligence and machine learning technologies. It's easy to look at politics and go, oh, Jesus, nothing to do with my business, or they only interfere with my business. But if you study how politics uses big data, there are a lot of lessons there. And I wonder if you could leave us with a few insights.
Artificial intelligence, I believe, is a technology that is as powerful as fire. Man essentially learned how to make fire, eventually learned how to control it, and then has applied it in almost every areas of our business and our lives. Case in point, you probably took a hot shower today, as I did. And we owe that to a set of innovations that has occurred literally millions of years ago in those applications. Artificial intelligence has that equal potential. Businesses today that don't adopt AI, just like I believe politicians that are not adopting effective AI strategies, will be left out in the cold. Their ability to compete in the future marketplaces and races will dramatically be diminished. And I think that artificial intelligence eventually starts to transform the very balance of power, not just for enterprises and corporations and politicians, but actually governments and our society.